This is the all-new budget Pixel device, the Pixel 9a. And this is the budget Pixel from 2 years back, the Pixel 7a. If you're thinking about upgrading to the 9a or choosing between the two in 2025, make sure to watch this video till the end because I'm comparing them side by side to find out if the Pixel 9a is really worth the upgrade or if the Pixel 7a still offers better value for money. The unboxing experience is quite minimal with both the devices. With the 7a, you get the device, a standard C2C charging cable, a SIM ejector tool, and a USB-C to A adapter, which was intended for direct data transfer from old phone to the 7a. But since almost all smartphones now support Type-C, you don't get this adapter with the Pixel 9a. You just get the device, Type-C to C charging cable, and the SIM ejector tool. One key thing to note is that while both the Pixel devices come with 8 gigs of RAM, the 7a comes with 128 GB storage on the base variant, while the 9a comes with 256 GB storage on the base variant. If I talk about the build, 9a is the clear winner. It's both bigger and wider, while being thinner and lighter at 184 grams as compared to 193 grams of the 7a. Its corners are also more curved, making it more comfortable to hold, but the sides are now flat so it can balance upright. Both feature an aluminum frame with satin finish and a plastic back, but 9a's back has matte finish while the 7a's back is shiny. Pixel 9a also has better water resistance rating with IP68 as opposed to IP67 on the 7a, but I do miss the metal rail on the back. It looks really good and aesthetic. On the right, you'll find the volume rocker at the bottom and power button at the top. Its SIM ejector slot is right here and this one's on the left side. The Type-C port is on the bottom with a single larger speaker grill on the 9a as opposed to two but smaller speaker grills. Let's see which one's louder. As you can see, 9a speaker is significantly louder than 7a speaker. On the front, the 7a rocks a 6.1-inch OLED display. The 9a has a bigger 6.3 inches Actua display, which is Google's own OLED display tech. Both the devices have Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection and support 4K HDR content on YouTube. The 7a supports 1000 nits of peak brightness, which is not very good outdoors, but the 9a almost triples the brightness at 2700 nits. It also has a slightly better resolution than its predecessor. And while the 7a's display is capped at 90Hz, the 9a is faster and can go up to 120Hz, which is standard in 2025. Now, let's talk about performance. The 7a is powered by Google's Tensor G2 chip, which is solid for everyday tasks and even for playing games like PUBG. There are no major frame drops or lags, but the phone does get a little bit hot when performing demanding tasks. On the other hand, the 9a comes with the latest Tensor G4 chip and the performance is quite good. It also runs heavy games without any lag or frame drop. But just like the 7a, it heats up when playing demanding games. As you can see, we played PUBG on both Pixel 9a and 7a at the highest FPS. Both got hot, but there was a 2 to 3 degree difference. 9a was running much cooler. Let's check their boot up speeds. Both phones took almost the same time, about 10 seconds, but the 9a was just a second faster. I ran Antutu benchmark on both the phones to test their chips. The Pixel 7a got maximum FPS of 15.9, while the 9a managed a max FPS of 26. After the test, 9a's temperature was above 43 degrees, while the 7a was at 42.7 degrees. In Geekbench 6, Pixel 9a scored 3349 in multi-core and 1563 in single-core, while the 7a scored 3149 in multi-core and 1396 in single-core. The 9a's temperature was 37.3, while the 7a was at 38.5. I also tested their GPU performance with volume shader, and you can see the difference for yourself. I exported an 8GB 4K project on both the devices. "9a took 12 minutes 17 seconds, while the 7a took 12 minutes and 57 seconds. Both phones got hot. 9a was at 39.8 degrees, while the 7a was over 43. Both phones offer good performance for your daily stuff and casual gaming, but out of these two, 9a is clearly a lot superior. So if you wanna do a lot of gaming or editing, then you'll have a better experience with the Pixel 9a. Now let's talk about the cameras. Both the Pixel 9a and 7a have the same 13 megapixel selfie camera with a 2.2 aperture, but 9a has a very slightly wider field of view. They both have a dual camera setup on the back. 7a has a 64 megapixel wide-angle camera with 1.89 aperture and 80-degree field of view. On the other hand, 9a has a 48 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization, 1.7 aperture and 82-degree field of view. They both have a 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera with 2.2 aperture and 120-degree field of view. Both of these support 4K video recording at 60 fps from the rear. Here are some photo samples. Being the latest one, the 9a gets some additional camera features like Add Me, Macro Focus, Auto Frame, Reimagine, etc. The battery life is also improved on the 9a. It has a 51 mAh battery as compared to 4385 mAh on the 7a. I'm yet to do a proper battery test of the 9a, but considering the capacity, it can easily last more than a day on regular usage. Whereas after 1 year of usage, 7a still lasts a full day on light usage. As for the charging, the 9a sucks at only 23 watt fast charging, as if you can even call it that. The 7a is lagging behind with a measly 18 watt fast charging. So even though the 9a will charge faster than 7a, it is still very slow. Now, the 7a comes out of the box with Android 13 and it's going to receive updates till Android 18. It has already received Android 16 update in 2025, so you'll get 2 more years of OS updates after this. Whereas the 9a comes with Android 15 and with 7 years of OS updates, it is set to receive Android 22 update in the year 2032. So in terms of feature proofing, 9a is the clear choice. The Pixel 7a originally launched at $499 or 43,999 INR, and now in 2025, it is still selling for around $399 or 31,000 on Amazon. Honestly, that's a bit steep for a 2-year-old device, especially when you consider that during sales, it often drops much lower. On the other hand, the new Pixel 9a is priced at $499 or 49,999 INR, which isn't a huge jump from the current price of the Pixel 7a, making it a better deal in most cases. Now, I managed to grab the Pixel 9a for under 25,000 rupees, and here's how. I bought it from the official Google store and stacked up a bank discount, an EMI offer, and exchanged my old Pixel 7a. That combo brought the price down significantly, almost half the MRP. So, if you're planning to upgrade smartly, then this is definitely the way to go. To conclude, I'd like to say that if you're considering options apart from Google devices, then you can get better cameras, better performance, and better build quality at a similar price range. But if you're looking to buy a Pixel device in 2025, then the Pixel 9a is a fantastic option. It doesn't excel at anything, but it provides a balanced, all-rounded experience with stock Android and long-lasting software support. And with that, I'll wrap up this one. If you enjoyed the video, then give it a like and subscribe to Gizmo Rush for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.